So, friends, we want to talk about the employment, but we are not looking at all aspects of employment. We are actually trying to look at how our young persons, or not just young persons, Nigerians can make themselves employable. You might not have all the skills, but what are the basic things that you think that somebody should have before even going to look for a job?
First and foremost, what they will actually require is qualification. They would like to know what you studied and your GPA, what you came out with from school. They would like to know how many years experience you've had, because definitely they will always want to know your experience, whether you have experience in the field or not. That's the major thing they look out for. The experience is what they need before they not think of maybe employing you or not, after going through several tests, which the firm may actually conduct. But when it comes to the legal profession, which I belong to, first and foremost, after being called to the Nigerian bar, before you get a job, it's not quite easy, because definitely they want to get the experience. They want to know how many years you've had the experience. Then finally, when they employ you, you will not be working for them. Finally, when they employ you, you'll be working for them without salary. They won't pay you at that point. You'll be working for them without salary. You'll be going to court, observing court processes. From there on, maybe if you have any case, you bring to the law firm. The firm may then actually give you some money from the case in which you handled. But for them to pay you from the firm, they don't. They just want you to have the experience.
In Nigeria and in the world, I think the people at top positions and the people that are making it are those that have their own businesses, in the sense that waiting for employment, I think is a serious disaster. Let me use that word. Why? Because so many graduates and no jobs. Like every year, Nigeria releases so many graduates, and there's no job for them to at least manage and the rest of them. So I think we should, most of us, especially the young ones, should take our eyes off maybe government, waiting for government to give us jobs, and create our own jobs for ourselves. I think, and that has to do with, number one, I think passion will help. Why? Because if you think of creating a job out of passion, I think it will help you well or better. Why? Because creating a job actually has to do with patience. Like the first thing in creating a job, patience. You have to wait to get your own customers before people start patronizing your company or whatever, starts coming to hire you and the rest, because they have to first of all see what you can offer before they come to you, and that takes a lot of time. Like I have my own brand, my own fashion brand, and I'm just telling you out of experience. A few persons have actually identified with us. Why? They're trying to know if what we are doing is just for fun or for like a job or something we're doing out of passion. So in Nigeria presently, I just advise, even if we can still expect employment, I think we should also have our own businesses created, at least to give us a fallback to in case of anything happens.
Although our government are unable to provide or set the mechanisms for job creations to happen, or job availability to be there, there is a challenge for those who want to create businesses. If you look at the businesses that most people can create on their own from scratch when they just leave school, it's limited to either entertainment or maybe say fashion or computer related projects. There are some of the other kind of businesses that the person who has to create those businesses, like she said, would need to first of all have some level of experiences up there. For example, in the oil and gas industry, it's hard for a graduate just coming out of school, right, to just step into those level of engineering and start a firm of his own. He needs to be working somewhere, and the trouble now for that person is not gaining that access to work there, where we'll have enough knowledge that will enable him create businesses and then employ other people. So there must be the avenue, right, that employment has to exist. Even when people can create their own businesses, there must be that fact that people coming out of school can find jobs, gain necessary experience, grow. Then they come up with their own creative ideas of how to expand whatever they are doing, and then they can move on to create other businesses that can employ other people. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. So the government is not totally out of this. They need to set the economy